Rufai, and even Amaechi. Yes, that's the surprise you will get. Well, His Excellency Atiku Abubakar, Peter Obi, Amaechi, and even Kasim Ibrahim Imam, other key coalition leaders attended an expanded strategic meeting in Abuja yesterday. It was an high-profile coalition meeting which included several others. But later in the meeting, it was thrown into chaos when delegates from Jigawa State interrupted the discussions. In a show of protest, multiple delegates from Jigawa took to the stage, preventing the persons from speaking and asserting that they refuse to be represented by the individuals mentioned. Well, in a quiet location in Abuja, away from the usual city noise, Atiku, who is a long-time presidential hopeful, but he has never won, sits beside Obi, the reformer inspiring young Nigerians. El-Rufai, who is also a strategic northern politician, were also present, alongside Babachir Lawal, who they say is a skilled political player. David Mark, too, was also there, the respected coalition leader, and also Saliu Lukman, a former APC national vice chairman, who is now unhappy with Tinubu's leadership. Other powerful allies present at the meeting supports the mission to remove Tinubu in 2027 and also offer solutions to economic problems, joblessness, and insecurity. Nigerians, let me take you down history that have been history of broken coalitions. This coalition just didn't begin ahead of 2027. Coalition has started ever since 1959. It has talking about NPC and CNC coalition. Or there also coalition between SDP and NRC. We also had coalition measure after 1999, where the PDP dominated until 2013, and then there was a mesh created by the All Progressive Congress, APC. We're joining us live to look at these issues, this 2027 coalition, and taking focus where all eyes are on Atiku, Obi, El-Rufai, and Amaechi. He's a former Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice in Ondo State, and also an APC governorship candidate in 2027 in Ondo State, Mrs. Olajumoke Anifowoshe. Welcome, good morning, and welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Good morning.
Also joining us live is one man who will say sometimes says it all the way it is. He is a former chairman of the ADC in Ogun State, and also a former IPAC Publicity Secretary of Ogun State, Mr. Itunu Temitayo Abioro. Mr. Itunu, good morning and welcome to the show.
Thank you very much for having me.
All right.
Good morning.
Good morning, welcome. Now, let's begin with Mrs. Olajumoke. Now, with the 2027 coalition ahead and with the way it's going on, yesterday we had a high-profile coalition meeting where the likes, like I said, the likes of Babachir Lawal, the likes of Atiku, Obi, Amaechi, and all were present. Is this not... what do you think is going on in the camp of APC right now? It seems to be like they are shivering.
No, nobody is shivering. You know, any relationship that is birthed through anger cannot bring good fortune. All the people coming together are angry. That is the basic thing that is happening. They should shed their anger and, come back home, particularly those who were in APC before. So
the only person who might feel
APC is not shivering at all.
The only person who might feel that is shivering, that is angry, could be maybe an El-Rufai who felt cheated in APC. But Peter Obi, what are we going to say? He's been hungry. Been hungry for. The Atiku Abubakar. What are we going to say? He's been hungry about. Or maybe I'll also say Amaechi, who also is a member of the APC and still he has not denounced APC anyway. So those are the two parties I would say. But the likes of Obi, the likes of Babachir Lawal, the likes of Atiku Abubakar, the likes of David Mark, will you say they are angry?
Babachir Lawal was in APC. He left in anger because of the Muslim ticket. And he has not joined any other party to my knowledge. If he has, but he has not made any big deal out of that party. Then I will say the what's his name now?
Obi, yeah.
Too. They are all angry one way or the other because they are thinking Obi and his party members think that they won the presidential election, and that's the figment of their own imagination. So what I want to say is, I think they should all cooperate and let President Tinubu do what he wants to do for Nigeria. As it is, I think he's trying his best on all fronts to make sure that Nigeria is on track.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much. Now let's come to Mr. Itunu Temitayo. Yesterday we saw big guns, come together ahead of 2027. What does that call your attention to?
Well, thank you very much for having me. Before I make a comment on what happened yesterday, you also have to. I want to quickly just touch on something the Honorable Mrs. said. To say that people are angry as their motivation for whatever they are doing in politics, I think does not really, it's just scratching the surface. It doesn't really address the root issues. But I'll leave that for now until later in the day when we talk about the root issues. Now, to what happened yesterday. Everybody knows that the final outcome on any coalition is going to take place Friday, May 8th. Yesterday's event was just a push forward to see and tweak things out. So by Friday, we would know who is staying where, who is doing what, and who is going where. However, I can tell you for free that Malam Nasir El-Rufai, His Excellency Malam Nasir El-Rufai, is an SDP member. You can check his official handles, TikTok account, and all of that. He is an SDP member, and he is willing and able to run for the presidency, irrespective of the coalition being in one party or another. So I think we need to let that part be very, very clear for us, because a lot of people are erroneously of the opinion that even outside the coalition, individual people and their influence and their spread is not enough for them to take on the president. And for me, that would be a little bit like closing your eyes and saying everything is fine. Because in reality, anybody can be beaten. Nigeria's election has shown multiple times that anybody can be beaten any day, anytime, irrespective of how powerful or secure they think their position is.
All right, thank you very, very much. But then, with this, it seems to be like Rotimi Amaechi is also in the picture, leading the role to form a new party. Does that, forming a new party, is that what we need now? Let me come to the ADC, former ADC chairman. Forming a new party, what we need now? With the likes of SDP, the likes of PDP, APC. Mr. Abioro, are you there?
Yes. I genuinely don't think that INEC is willing to register a new party. Let us have that clear. I don't think the INEC chairman, Professor Mahmoud Yakub, is willing and able to register new political parties. However, I'm aware that his tenure is expiring later this year, and a lot of speculation as to who's going to replace him. That is also going to be key in determining if and when other political parties will be registered. But let us assume that no party is going to be registered. We have 18 political parties in Nigeria, each of them with their own strengths and weaknesses, obviously. And the truth of the matter is, it really doesn't matter whether everybody comes and belongs to one political party or everybody stays on their own and fights it out. What we do know is that irrespective of how you look at it, there are some people who have experience in making precedents, and there are some people who have experience, or at least who are now who is now the president. So we know that some people have expertise in getting it, and some people already are beneficiaries of getting it. So for me, it doesn't really matter as long as everybody's allowed to play fair.
Okay, everybody's allowed to play. Let's listen to the leader of the Northern League Democrats yesterday. He had made some comments about the meetings with the Northern leaders and some big guns in the political arena. Let's listen to him. Also, we'll listen to Peter Obi, what he has to say. And then we'll come back. We'll ask a question. Can everybody be president at the same time? And then this common goal of keeping things united, will their differences pull them apart? Let's listen to the Northern League Democrats, and then we'll come back and talk more.
We have resolved on basically 8 issues. First, we approve our constitution as an association of Northern Nigeria. Then 2, we approve the leadership of the LND, which was read out before the end of this. We have the list somewhere. Then 3, we resolve to support the National Opposition Coalition Group for the transitional politics towards 2027. Then 4, we resolve to contribute in the dialogue on either to register a new political party to drive as the vehicle to drive the politics, or fuse into the existing political party, whichever is agreed. The National Coalition Group set up 2 committees, among others, 2 committees. One, to consider the desirability or feasibility of registering a new political party, and 2, to consider fusing into an existing political party. Both committees submitted their reports. The committee for fusing into another political party is headed by Governor Olajumoke, and then the committee for registering a new political party was chaired by Governor Rotimi Amaechi. I was the secretary of that subcommittee for the registering of the new political parties. We made our submissions, and then former Governor Nasir El-Rufai brought out a suggestion that, a complaint that
That's the spokesperson for the Northern Leaders League Democrats. Now let's listen to Peter Obi comment in all of this coalition.
We can solve it. The more you put people out of poverty, the more you solve insecurity. I've been to prisons, I've been to places to see what is happening. We need to change it. It is very easy. We need to invest in education. We can't talk about free universal education when people are not going to school and children are not in school. I have taken time to go to the north, sat down with our Nigerian children. They are the most brilliant people God created. Because I can see children in 9 years and 10 years memorizing Quran. If they can't go to school, we'll take school to them. Where they are learning Quran, they can learn English, they can learn mathematics, they can learn it. It's very easy. And we are living in Kaduna, and it's working. I went to one in Kaduna, I visited there and said, my brother, that when they provided them, I'm paying their teachers now, provided them toilets, provided them everything. If you see the kids, they are changing. Let's invest in them. That's our assets. That's the assets we need. That's the doctors we need. We have a great country that can be changed if our leaders can change the human, invest in humanity. It is very easy. It's not a big problem. And all I plead with all of us, like key notes we can say is for us to build trust. I know we have issues here and there and everything. This is time for us to build trust among ourselves, believe that we are one, and we can save this country. Public and survived by population. This is time to remove our division. We have all tried, we voted religion. Let's vote competence. It is time to start voting. Let's vote capacity and competence and everything. Let's make this work. It can work. There's people who, let's hold our leaders responsible. This time Ukraine is about 600,000 square kilometers. The entire north is about 20% more than Ukraine. And
That's the voice of the 2023 Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi. Right there yesterday at the coalition talk in Abuja. Yes, former Vice President Atiku Abubakar was present. Amaechi was also present. Nasir El-Rufai, they were all present right there. And let's come back to the former Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice in Ondo State, Mrs. Olajumoke. Mr. Olajumoke, I don't know if you had that insert there, the voice of Obi and also the Northern League Democrat.
I was able to hear the
Now, you heard how Northern...
But I didn't quite get what
Obi...
His Excellency Obi was... No.
Okay, he talked about trust, building trust. He talked about believing that we are one. He talked about let's vote competence and not others. He said also let's vote capacity. And you saw, or you heard how the Northern group, stood up to give him a round of applause right there. With all of these happening and, this coalition, so what do you think will happen? We see a whole lot of people at the moment.
Well, there's nothing that will happen to the APC. The APC will sail through at the end of the day with the defections coming from all the parties, both PDP, Labour, SDP, as I stated somewhere some time ago, that the defections into APC is because the parties, these other parties, they are not sure of themselves. The leadership, they are lazy. That is why they cannot keep their members intact.
What leadership? Of the opposition?
Of the opposition, yes.
The PDP or the Labour Party?
All of them. They are lazy. They cannot keep their membership intact. If they are able to move around like APC, the defections will not be taking place. With these defections now, the APC coast is expanding. We are sailing home. Whether there's coalition, whether they start another party, whether they use an existing party, at the end of the day, APC will still win.
But the
we still trash the coalition. They shouldn't take the fact that APC came into being because of the merger of so many parties.
Okay.
It was done before, and it didn't sail through in the early days of political parties.
Yeah, I read that history house also.
So the APC is grounded. APC is grounded in each state, in all the geopolitical regions of Nigeria. Why will the governor and his cabinet defect to APC?
What about in the northern Nigeria?
With senators from the same state defect to APC.
What about in the northern Nigeria? With what we are saying, they have the likes of El-Rufai, the likes of Atiku, who are also great stakeholders or big stakeholders in the north.
You know, Atiku was in APC. He didn't clinch the presidential nomination.
Ticket.
And he felt aggrieved. That's why he left and went back to PDP. And you know, His Excellency Atiku has been traversing different parties in the country. So, he should just go back home and rest, take care of his university, and, do other things. Because he cannot get this presidential ticket, whether coalition, whether PDP, or in whatever form. People are tired of the same thing all the time. Huh?
Atiku Obi versus Tinubu, don't you see that? Remembering what they had at the last election.
It is dead on arrival. It's dead on arrival.
Michael, can I say something?
All right, please, Mr. Itunu, please come in. You are trying to make a point. Okay.
You see, let us start with some basic truths, some basic honest truths.
Go ahead.
Not all states are created equal, and not all geopolitical regions are equal.
Okay.
For example, I have risen to the highest level in politics, not governance now, in politics, to be a two-time state chairman of a political party in Ogun State. And I can tell you for free that the highest number of results we can give any president in Ogun State is about 300,000 to about 400,000 votes. That's the maximum ceiling.
Okay.
Are you there?
I'm done.
A place like Lagos, between 5 to 800,000. But compare that with a place like
Kano,
Katsina, or Kano, or Kaduna, and then you understand that there is nothing. Now, as much as I have seen the wave of defections and the wave of, as she has said, some lazy politicians looking to make headway, the truth of the matter is they are all happening south of the River Niger. How many votes do you have in Anambra as a whole? How many votes do you have in all of these places? Even if they get 100% there, compared to other places where if you only get 40% or 30%, it wipes out all of their 100%. So you see, while I like the fact that members of APC believe, just like members of PDP at the time during the Jonathan era, believe that, we are untouchable, we are too big, nobody can touch us. It is very important for them to also remember that once upon a time, they were the ones who people were looking at and saying, you guys can't do nothing. And they did something. So for them to forget their own history of them being the underdog that pushed out a ruling party that has ruled for 16 years. APC hasn't ruled for 16 years. They don't have the institutions that PDP at its height had. APC many times feels and looks like a work in progress versus prime PDP that they pushed out of governance. So my own position on this matter is this. As beautiful as it is that we are looking at the wave of defections going on in the South, one must not be blind or myopic to the realities going on in Arawa. To the fact that even in the South, even in Lagos today, the population of Hausas, Muslims, and even non-indigenous in Lagos dwarfs the population of the inhabitants, or should I say the original settlers. So these are things that people should actually start to look at and actively work on. Do I believe that this coalition or any individual can push out the current administration? I absolutely believe that there's a mathematical chance of them doing it and doing it successfully. But I also believe that even as of today, 2025, the APC should already be in the process of its own party affairs. By now, they should have done their congresses, the world congresses, the state congresses, and the national congresses, because it's already 4 years. Next year is, according to the INEC timetable, when they are supposed to, by August, everybody should have known who is going to be the candidate on the ballot. So if as of today, May, the APC has not yet rolled out their timetable for congresses, then I don't. Even PDP has done theirs. So we cannot come and say, oh, these other parties are jokers, these other parties are lazy, these other parties don't know what they are doing.
So are you saying? So are you saying a like of El-Rufai to be a great contender in this, a threat in this, ahead of 2027?
I was in Katsina State a few days ago at the Arewa Tech Fest held in Katsina, and I saw what Arewa as a whole is building around. But more specifically, I'm looking at Katsina, Kaduna, where he's from, and Kano. And I'm seeing that those places are in strong resonance with him. Now, I'm looking at the current president, who is also my president. Make no mistake, President Tinubu is everybody's president today. But I'm looking at where he's from. He's from Lagos. Mind you, he lost in Lagos and lost in Abuja. So even his current seat of power, his current abode, he lost there on his way to getting there. Even his home base in Lagos, he lost there to a Peter Obi. And he had the El-Rufai back then supporting him. Now imagine a situation where Peter Obi that he lost to in his Lagos is going to still pull that same crowd. And the El-Rufais of this one are also going to still pull their own crowd in his own Lagos. So I'm not trying to deflate anybody's ego. I'm just trying to say, let us look at this thing critically. Let us all look at this thing as it is. And it's not a secret that His Excellency's policies have been hurting the average Nigerian. Yes, some of us will argue that it is for the future of Nigeria. But the Nigerians are more for the present. How is it affecting our bottom line? How is it affecting the price of food? How do we eat in our house? These are the issues. And so I hope I've been able to explain to the Honorable Commissioner that it is imperative for us to look at this thing deeper than it is, because they themselves pushed out a sitting executive for making anti-people policies. And I don't see any reason why they should feel that they are immune to such a situation.
All right, thank you very much. Yes, Lagos, okay. You can be part of...
Can I come in?
Okay, quickly, you want to come in. Go ahead, madam.
Oh, okay. It's like Honorable Abioro is more of an APC than myself, because he knows in and out of APC. What I want to say is that we have the national executive of the APC, and